I'm Timo Peach. One less media celebrity on the People's Vote March in London. It's a beautiful day, and supposedly some 500,000 people or more have turned out to march about Brexit. And they don't seem desperately happy. It's a jolly good day for placards. I've quite liked fromage, not Farage, so far, but that doesn't exactly obfuscate the Waitrose demographic here, does it? Now, I know what you're thinking as somebody who voted to leave the EU. This is all just a bunch of Ramonas, isn't it? Wanting to turn back democracy, mate. Well, it's not quite that simple, is it? Because none of us are, including you silly sausage. There's a wide range of connected issues turning up on the placards here, which happens at all rallies, let's face facts. Though this is my first. I am an actual March virgin. And it's all jolly good fun. People cheer and make jokes, and some rather good placards, and some great colourful looking people there as well. The issue here is, of course, that the people need to say what they think about this. And frankly, most of us didn't wake up about the Brexit thing until about a month before we had to vote. Now people are very awake. Democracy is a constant conversation. The challenge is, of course, that on that bit of paper that we all went into booths and signed, or at least 2/3 of us did, it said if you vote over this number, we'll give you Brexit. So in a sense, part of me feels it's sort of got to happen. At least to be fair to those who voted for it. And yet, that's not how common sense works any more than that's how democracy works. It's a constantly evolving thing, and it's obvious from this that an awful lot of people are very unhappy. And it's hardly surprising, isn't it? I mean, crikey, if you thought it was Operation Fear, Project Fear, during the referendum, it wasn't Project Fear, it was Project Indolence is what it was. Now, good lord, they're talking about stockpiling food and all the rest of it, and I'm chuckling about it. It does make you suspicious, doesn't it, just how negative it is. And yet, whilst it should be perfectly reasonable for us to leave a voluntary alliance if we think that it's not in line with our values, it's never that simple. And the truth is, I'm not sure we can deliver the thing that an awful lot of us voted for. So what is to be done? Well, I think the truth is that many of us as a generation just haven't woken up to do this sort of thing. I'll blither on Twitter about things, but when do I march? There's a lot of people here who might well be here for the first time and have all been jolly polite about it. One of the placards I particularly enjoyed just said, ask twice, it's polite. And they had a three graphic cartoon of somebody asking for tea. Would you like tea? And the person says no. So, sure. And they go, well, go on then. Which is delightfully English. And there's a lot of white faces here, but also in a march this big, there's an awful lot of people represented. I think we've got to do better than what we've got. And I think in the end, that's my feeling here. I sort of half want to I half think we should let Brexit play out so that we've done that bit and then try to pull back. But in reality, what will that do? What will that damage? Who will suffer? It's the usual people who suffer. It's the poorest. Should we let that keep happening? Let's have another vote. And it's a separate vote. It's a new vote. It's a vote on the deal. And more of us are awake to the facts now. That's democracy. More people are engaged. This is excellent. It's what's needed. It's our country, isn't it? It's our future. And this is all very, very tonic to the way we do business in every sense, our economic culture. The thing that rings in my head, yes, of course I voted to Remain, but I never like the word Remain. It's very lazy, isn't it? It doesn't stand for much. These things happen. I have no idea what's just happened. Up with this sort of thing. Marching, eh? Splendid. I'll be in a union next. What I was going to say was, there's this phrase that keeps running around my head. By their fruit, you will know them. And if we are to do the right thing by our our country and by people who voted for Brexit as well as those who didn't. By us trying to make sense of the world now with so many massive things changing, where there's a question mark over how the food gets into our shops and the security of our power and the nature of so many interconnected things. What is the best thing to do for us? The people who are standing for leave are the thing I really have a problem with. How angry I would be if they were representing my heartfelt desire to leave the EU because of what's wrong with it. But alongside that, really not wanting to let your Farages and your Boris Johnsons, the people who are only eating for themselves, and everybody knows it, I don't want to give them credence because what else are they prepared to sell to get whatever they want? These don't deserve to be our leaders, and we shouldn't be tacitly supporting them by voting. You can say, I'm just using them to get what I want, but you are supporting these people when you vote for that, and that doesn't reflect well on any of us. And that bothers me, that you are put in that position if you voted for it, and that I'm put in this position when I didn't. I think we need to just show up, which is why I have today. I'm not wearing badges as such, I'm not here as part of a party. I wish we could pull this together into a dialogue between all of us. And I know how much you voted on your values if you voted to leave the EU. Of course you did. And if we had a vote today, in or out, I suspect it would just tip the other way, but fundamentally it wouldn't have changed, would it? We are a divided nation on this one issue. So how do you get rid of deadlock? Change the bloody issue! The future we're facing isn't all about Brexit, it was a bollocks paradigm anyway. And for me, if your values are that you want Europe to be a lot less technocratic, a lot more democratic, great. You've helped me wake up to just everything that's wrong with the EU. But even old Varoufakis, rock star economist who hates the EU, is defending it at this rally somewhere because he says it has at least created a shared space we didn't have before. And he thinks the whole thing we set up as a technocratic boys' club for economic well-being. I go along with that. I think it's what we've got to work with, because what's the alternative? It's all the jokers we've got. It's 45 in America. It's all the people you do not want getting their hands on assets that have been fought and died for. It is that dramatic. So what price values? Well, I don't think values can exist in a vacuum. I think they exist in a context. And values have to say strategy, because if you are prepared to say, I will sacrifice everything to get this one issue through of leaving the EU, I wonder, what is it you really want? What are you hoping for in the future? That's the question I want to ask all of us. What's our vision of the future? Ignore the EU, ignore remain or leave or what happened. We've got to get past that vote. But I do think that strategically, while you and I sit down and have these conversations as fellow British people, as fellow humans, we should be talking about our visions of the future. And I just don't think Rees-Mogg and Farage and Boris Johnson and all those jokers who haven't been able to deliver a single thing except cracking open a very putrid box full of, all the racism and other things that we've seen, I don't think they've got any vision of the future. And right now on Earth is exactly when we need that. Proper, culture-challenging visions of the future. And I think that's why a lot of people are showing up. Remember that an awful lot of people here are tacitly standing against racism by being here. That's their values. And unfortunately, excuse me, sorry. We all get lumped into these great, grand, sweeping gestures. We've got to be smarter than this. And we've got to show the politicians what we care about and who we think we are and what we stand for and why we know we're here now. Showing up. That's democracy. And that's why I have. But I don't want to show up away from you. I don't want to sit in a Ramona's circle jerk. Sorry for the phrase, it's awful. I want to talk about the future. And part of that will mean, right here, right now, let's stop this rot. Let's at least show that many of us do not want this way forward. And then clear space to have a proper talk and a proper strategy. That's, for me, what the People's Vote March is all about. Creating space to have a proper conversation. Put the brakes on the crap, because there are things we won't be able to put back in the box if we let them go too far. And it's obvious that we are a nation that needs to talk and cross the divide. But we have to go to the communities that haven't changed their mind at all because they've been let down by economics. Johnson's ever going to do the slightest thing to help those communities? Economically, no. He's part of the elitist problem, isn't it? Showing up. That's democracy. I thought I finally would. I don't know if it's going to make a change. It hasn't given me a chance to do my first proper run in my electric vehicle today. So, right on, brothers and sisters. People's Vote March. 500,000 people on the streets, more. Everyone's being terribly polite. It's wonderful. I'm terribly sorry. Do you mind? I'm ever so sorry. Do you let me through? I'm sorry. After you. A lot of that and funny signs. Doesn't seem that way. I mean, it does seem that way, obviously, and yet a lot more than that because it's a lot more complicated.
Hello. Who are you?
I am Timo Peach. You don't even know who that is.
Are you famous? I'll find you on YouTube.
I'm not. Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. I'm not remotely famous. You've just made me more famous.
Okay, I'm going to famous Chinese lady in the YouTube. I have my own channel.
Amazing.
It's Yin Yang. Find me Yin Yang.
Okay. Well, good. Yin Yang.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Nearly hundreds of thousands of people watched my
Well, my stock just went up on social media, bumping into you.
And I lost my family. We're my family.
Do you know why you're here today? Are you part of the march?
Clearly, I knew. I'm shouting loud. What we want, people's vote.
Do you want the people's vote?
Yeah, no. That's what they said. I shouted hundreds of times.
Yes, it's kind of what we do here. Is this sort of cultural thing and funny placards and occasional shouting, but very politely.
Very politely, of
very
course.
Politely, yes.
English people are the best people, polite people in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
I love UK. I love English. I'm English as well. So,
okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, very nice to meet you.
Yes. How can I find you again, sir?
I am Timo Peach or Momotempo. Write that down. Momotempo. Momotempo.
I definitely lost it, but I'll find your face. You're a handsome man. Thank you
very much. Bless you. It's the people's vote. I just threw my whole link off.